Y'all, did Kim Kardashian just admit to being a bad mom? Or at the very least, admit to lying? Y'all, sit down. We gotta talk about this. Why is Kim admitting and or lying about what's going on with North? See, here's the thing. Every time we give her 1 point, she takes it back. We literally, and by we, I mean me, said, you know what? Say what you want about Kim, at least she's the parent that stays. Yeah, she had North walking around looking like vule vule say awa wa mocha mocha la da da. Like, yeah, she had her walking around the streets of Italy looking like real marmalade, looking like Lady Marmalade. But she was like, no, what are you talking about? I keep North, even though there's all the social media, you guys, I protect her. I keep her from social media. She don't even got a phone. Nobody knows what's being said. And we said, okay, fine, but you still need to navigate that better. Why is Kim now coming out and saying that it wasn't her responding to all the nasty, mean comments to North? It was actually North herself. Kim, Kim, what is you doing? What is you, again, this could be a lie, but then this makes Kim look crazy. But if she's telling the truth, Kim, what are you doing? What are you doing? Kanye ain't the only cuckoo for Cocoa Puff's parent. Listen to this, all right? Again, why is Kim doing this? Is she doing this to change the subject? Is she doing this because her show is flopping? Is she doing this because it is being dragged on how bad it is? I'll read the reviews in another thing. Listen, Kim Kardashian saying how North reacted to backlash over fake tattoos and piercing, okay? She literally, let me just read this, right? Now, I think, my opinion, I think she's lying. I think she's lying because a 12-year-old doesn't talk like this. But if she is telling the truth, anyway, listen. They said Northwest isn't keeping up with social media trolls. Kim shared her 12-year-old daughter's unbothered reaction to backlash over the fake tattoos and piercings she rocked on a recent TikTok video. Kim revealed, right, to her All's Fair co-star Niecy Nash, bets in a complex Goat Talk video on Wednesday that North took her phone last month as naysayers raged in the comments. She writes back to a comment and she goes, this is such a non-issue, okay? And Kim labeled that a good clapback. The response was pegged to Kim in October, which the reality star mentioned in a recent sit-down. Online, it looks like Kim defends North to the end of this look, right? While they said that Kim did not break down her thoughts on the daring accessory, she did give context. One, Kim is a control freak. Kim is a control freak by image. Kim had her stylist coordinate so North would wear. Kim knew everything North was gonna wear, down to the lookbooks. So you can't act like North just came out like, surprise! Where does one get a corset to push up something they don't have? Where does one get all this stuff? You cannot convince me. Kim's lies. And let me just say this. This is actually really sick because my TED Talk, the thesis on my TED Talk is, one, Kim is stoking this to get attention for her show because she needs this show to be a success and she needs it to work. So she's putting this because her show is getting torn up in media, literally. She's doing this because it's bringing attention. She is sacrificing North just like she sacrificed Kanye. And this is not to be like, oh, poor Kanye, because boy, when you gonna go see your kids? That's a whole nother train. We got 6 train wrecks going. But the fact that you're bringing this up, everybody moved on from that really inappropriate, weird thing that you planned and you did and you paid for with your daughter. Even having North walking side by side with you, that was a choice. North didn't plan that on her own. And the way North was walking, she didn't even seem comfortable in her clothes, which makes me think that you had her wear that on purpose. But anyway, right? She said her and her girlfriends, they love doing costumes. They love doing looks. It's Halloween season. So they put on fake tattoos on their face, fake piercings. They all had colored hair. Fake tattoos and fake piercings. That was a TikTok filter. What is you talking about? That is a TikTok filter. Anyway, They look like the opium Powerpuff Girls, she said. That's what they were going for. The funny thing is, it wasn't that TikTok that got everything. See, Kim is trying to, and this is sick when you think about it. Kim is always trying to make sure she has clean hands in every situation, even down to you're the girl's mother. Let me submit this. When this happened, and that whole TikTok, nobody cared. It was a TikTok filter. They knew it was a TikTok filter. Everybody was in a kerfuffle of the way Kim had North walking around like, voulez-vous chez à toi, right? That's what it was. Then the car kept going because people were like, what type of mom is Kim? Yeah, Kanye's out of his mind, but he might have had a point. So this kept growing. So then all of a sudden they do that TikTok, and the Kardashians pushed this whole thing as if a TikTok filter, which everybody knew it was a TikTok filter. Everybody knew North didn't put tattoos on her face. Everybody knew it was a TikTok filter. If it was a TikTok filter, everybody, and now all of a sudden they're trying to make this fake controversy and keep it going instead of focusing on what the real controversy was, which is the way Kim actually had North walking outside looking. All right. Listen, however, she did defend North's controversial fashion and beauty choices during a Call Her Daddy podcast. Kim had to defend them because they were Kim's choices. Everything, down to the lookbooks, was Kim's choices. At the time, she told listeners, it's really hard and really interesting. All the kids are wearing the same things. I went by Sierra Canyon. I didn't see one person in a bustier or corset. And I haven't seen any 11-year-olds in bustiers or corsets. But one, it seems pointless. Two, it might crush their precious little organs that are still developing. Three, what does an 11-year-old have to put in a corset? And even if they did have something to put in a corset, what are you doing? All the kids are wearing the same things, but then my daughter tries to wear it, and I'm like, okay, we're never wearing that again. Unfortunately, we made that mistake in front of the world. As a mom, you're kind of learning at the same time. But what do I know? What I do know is my baby's such a good girl and she's such a sweet girl. This is true. North is a good girl. North is a sweet girl. North 99% of the time dresses in tomboy baggy tee. That's her look. That's her aesthetic. She loves it. She rocks it. It's what most 11-year-olds are wearing. This is how I know that Kim was behind this, at least in my heart. The aesthetics that 11-year-olds are wearing, and yes, I do have a lot of, I am around a lot of 11-year-olds. The aesthetic that 11-year-olds are wearing, it's not that aesthetic with the corset and the this and that. That is something very Kardashian coded. That is something very like, there's people that dress up as Teletubbies for Halloween, and then there's the people that dress up as slutty Teletubbies. The Kardashians brand is you dress up as a slutty Teletubby, body paint, and then draw the Teletubby over your tatas. It looks like something. Kim's mom, I believe, put her on birth control when she was 13 or 14 because she was with, biblically, one of the Jacksons. And in California, they are, of course, royalty. If you look at things like that, honestly, isn't North like very close to the age where Kim had her Calabasas debutante coming out, if you will? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Kim asked for a little bit of grace. But if you're asking for a little bit of grace, why are you lying about this? Does North have access to social media? If she does, you need to protect that child more. It's none of my business, but it is everybody's business. You need to protect her more. Because as much as Kim might pay for the best therapist, the best this, the best that, North might have you do not want somebody exposed to the weight of the internet at such a formative age. And let me tell you something, because Kim always had North in grown spaces. And by grown spaces, I mean they wanted her to become a fashion icon to millennials and Gen Zs. They wanted her to become a fashion icon to people that were double and triple her age. They wanted her at the grown-up parties, the grown-up fashion shows, featured in grown-up magazines. North is a beautiful, talented little girl, but she is a little girl. I'm not doing taking fashion advice from an 11-year-old. I don't give a damn what North is wearing. Are you serious? If you get that baby out the pages of Vogue and put her in, is there Teen Vogue? Put her in Teen Vogue? Put her in, like, I don't know, is there Is there ninth grade Vogue? The whole point of the matter is, right? The whole point of the matter is, um, I just think that there could be more things done. And if Kim is saying that at the end of the day, um, you know, North has access to everything and she's listening to everything. These are grown people commenting and being mean and taking all their anger out on Kim, on her little girl. And are they right? No. Is it right? No. Should anybody be commenting about? No. Let that child be a child. But Kim, you got to take some accountability. Go put her in the children's section. But anyway, so shout out. So Kim is using North for publicity. Kim has admitted what we all know. Of course, North's online. How would she even know the TikTok trends if she wasn't online? Of course, North is reading comments. Of course, all this stuff, y'all. We talking about pray for Kanye, pray for Kim. We need to pray for Northwest. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.